Hi, I'm Amy. I'm living in Chrysalis. And I just dropped my foundation. But in normal times, in a normal world, I'm a lighthearted makeup channel for the most part. However, I do, even then, occasionally do some, what's the word I'm looking for? Commentary. Yes. Now, I have a lot to say. The world's not just a vampire, the world is a dumpster fire. And we're here in it, if not for it, so might as well discuss it, right? Ugh, yeah. Oh, I didn't want Gmail. Sorry, I'm trying to set up my tablet to monitor the chat and also to be able to... Oh, words. There we go.
Everyone has stuff they don't use.
Woo!
Give those things a try.
That's my ad. Woohoo! Look at that. It's my own advertisements. Okay, well, here we go. Oh, Ranger, hi. Thank you. Thank you so much. My first super chat of the evening. Yahoo! Hang on, I gotta pick up my foundation. Yeah, so the world is a dumpster fire. Man, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Ranger says congrats, so thank you so much. Hopefully a few more people will be joining us in the chat. I did not go on chat last week, so I don't know if people know I'm on. I did throw up on my community tab yesterday that I was coming on today, and I threw up about an hour ago, but you know, there's life and such, so who knows. And Brian, hi. I am throwing on my keyboard just in case I decide to get a little crazy, but y'all, yeah. This all of this that's going on in the world and even here in YouTube land is just driving me out of my mind. I am losing my freaking mind. So I might as well go ahead and start prepping my face. I'm feeling angry. Hey, Zach, how are you doing, honey? Oh, hey, guys, make sure you check out each other's channels. I'm definitely feeling angry. I've been incredibly sad and depressed and a lot of things. I mean, guys, I spent my 49th freaking birthday at a freaking protest. Who expected this in this day and age? Okay, so by the way, I'm using the LA Girl Pro Coverage High Definition Foundation in white. Yes. Now, LA Girl has a white mixing medium that you can use to lighten foundation. This is the actual white foundation itself. And so I have the white liquid foundation, and I also brought along my white Revolution base powder just in case I'm not white enough. Oh, let's see. Zach says it's raining, thundering, lightning, and they've got tornado warnings. Ooh, okay. Yikes. Well, stay safe. If you have to go to the basement, I hope you have Wi-Fi. But I'm just, you know, the more... Oh, Brian, you and your wife had to spend your anniversary on lockdown? Yeah, us too. Well, although it's kind of weird because with us we have two anniversaries. We've got we have our legal wedding anniversary, our quickie get it done, and that was Valentine's Day. But I think I was sick that day, so we didn't really do anything. Then we have our wedding anniversary, which is also my birthday, which again, I spent in a freaking protest. So, okay, all right, this is pretty white, but not like total grease paint white. but it actually kind of reminds me of how Eric Draven's grease paint kind of wore through the movie. You could kind of see his skin color through it a bit. So I'm not mad. I think this is about the effect I wanted. Because I'm just feeling very The Crow. Like, I'm just, and it's kind of funny too, because in college, and you know, I went to college in the 90s, and whenever I had a research paper to write, you know, I had to write any kind of paper, essay, anything like that, I didn't have a computer because it was the 90s. So I would go to the computer lab. I would bring all my stuff, you know, and I would actually photocopy my sources at the library. This is Kat Von D's Slayer. And I'm just throwing it on now because my lips feel kind of dry and I want to put lip gloss on. This is going to be kind of a modified Crow look, I think. So, yeah. So I would take the photocopy pages of all the stuff I'd researched and done in the library. Oh my gosh, is that chocolate? So what? I don't get to say that out loud, Zach? Okay, well, if you're reading the chat, you know. Did it work? I think they're better at catching that sort of thing now than they were then. But hey, you know, quotation marks and paraphrasing was my friend. But I would always start writing my papers with the Crow soundtrack. Like, it would really get me going, you know? Zach said he got away with it. The rest of y'all can guess what he was talking about. Okay. But, you know, I'm not going to do the full look yet. Mostly because I'll be doing other things first now. Let's see. I think I'm gonna kind of do with some of the more natural colors for contouring. Where's my contour brush? Oh crap. I forgot to wash that. I washed a few brushes, like my grossest ones, but I think I forgot to do this one. Either that, oh yeah, I think I forgot to do this one. Zach said his teacher didn't really read essays when he marked them, he just skimmed through them. That is some lazy creature. Oh well. At this point, I'm almost desperate enough to get my son out of high school to freaking cheat for him. I don't know, man. I'll be so glad when it's over. Well, he doesn't plan to go to college right away. He's planning on going into the Marines. So, we'll see. Who knows anymore? I suppose first we have to get out of lockdown. But it would be nice if, you know, if we didn't have him getting sent into BS. I don't know, we'll see. Okay. See, I do still want some sculpting on my face. But okay, I mean, obviously everybody and their brother knows what's going on here in the US. Zach says at the end of the school year he'd always burn his work. Well, I'm just, you know, the U.S., everything's a dumpster fire. I've been watching some of what was going on. Like, I caught a Detroit Free Press reporter's live stream. She she was running it from her phone to the Detroit Free Press page, the Facebook page. So I was watching this live, and I mean, it looked pretty clear to me that the Detroit police were definitely overreacting to what was happening at the time I was watching. Now, some people were saying that earlier there'd been some people throwing rocks at the police and all that, but when I was watching, people were mostly just kind of standing around. There was some yelling, but they were mostly standing around. It looked pretty peaceful. But then they started instigating. And I stayed up for hours. Wow, however long her thing ran from the time I found it, I was watching. And I was just absolutely disgusted. And I've seen a lot of other evidence over the course of, just viewing things that seems to indicate a lot of police instigation, a lot of agent provocateur instigation. I'm going in with my, oh God, this always smells so fantastic, my Alimar lip gloss. This was white, but it got polluted by purple lipstick, so. But she smelled amazing, she cute, and my lips are dry. Brian the Observer says, when the sun goes down, bad things happen. Well, shoot, some of it's when the sun goes up. I'm assuming you guys all saw that guy in, I think it was Minneapolis. The one who was, he had an umbrella. He had, like a full, one of those masks that had the two pockets, pouches there. And it's all in black. But his movements were so methodical. It's like walk, bash, walk, bash, walk, bash. He didn't go in, he didn't take anything, he was just mashing windows. I think it was an AutoZone. Now, things are kind of weird there, and this is, of course, unconfirmed. This is alleged, but apparently the guy's ex-wife identified him. Allegedly, as in this woman said, hey, that's my ex-husband, he's a cop. And the police department is saying that the officer that she was talking about was on duty in another location. I don't know, it's kind of sus. I mean, who is going to know, their ex-husband's, like, even the little bit of facial features we saw, the body movement, the body language, build, who's going to know that but the ex-wife? On the other hand, the we're talking ex-wife, so, some would say maybe she's got, a, an axe to grind with the guy. So this is all alleged. But let's just say I wouldn't be surprised. And just leave it at that. I would not be in the least a little bit surprised. Disappointed, of course. Surprised? Absolutely not. Let me see. Is this going to be too dark now that I'm wearing a white foundation? Or will this look okay? I'm trying to use up the last of this, but I don't know. Thinking that might have been a mistake. Let me see if I can find something a little lighter to brush over that. I had this really gorgeous highlighter, but I didn't bring it out here, so it's okay. I'm sure I can find something to use. Dang it. Sorry, I got it. Itchy. Is there a pale one in here maybe? Let me check. Nope. Okay, let's check. But yeah, I mean, one can say, of course, when the sun goes down, bad things happen. On the other hand, They shouldn't be started by the cops. Just saying. I mean, when I was watching the Detroit protest, it was pretty clear to me that the police actions were instigating things. At least the part that I watched. It did not look very good with the Detroit PD. I was not happy with that at all. Dang it. I forgot to grab that from the bathroom, but let me see what else I can find. I have all these baskets here on the side with, like, things I bought for projects I haven't done yet. Oh, I know. I'll use my Zodiac palette. There we go. There's a nice highlighter there in the middle. Let me use that. Again, going really mostly black and white. One of the things I really loved about the Crow movie is it was in color, but it had a very black and white sensibility. I mean, not quite to the extent of, what was it? Not quite to the extent of Sin City. It was more organic than that. Okay, so I'm using the middle, and then I'm going to go ahead and go into this Silver Gemini. I'm just going to dust over that a little bit just to give a little more of a silvery sheen. Woo! Okay, yeah. You can see my cheekbones from space! Like I said, your girl is angry. I'm angry with so much. I mean, I know it's been like, what, about a week and a half since you guys have seen me? Because I've just been so upset and so down and angry and depressed and just watching so many different things, not just about the protests, but also some craziness even here on YouTube with some of these family vlogging channels. And I'm going to get into that in a bit. But, alright. No, not this one. This one. Going to do my eyebrows. I'm going to go ahead and do them with the normal stuff rather than go black. I mean, again, my look is going to be a Crow tribute, not an exact copy. Plus, look how close I am to using this stuff up. I want it to be gone so bad. I was working on it for like all of 2019, and now I've been working on it through COVID-19. So I'd really like it to be done before, I don't know, before I start having a life again. So who's all here now? On my top chat, let's see, on my chat it says I only have 2 people here. So that's me and like one person. So let's see. So who else is here? Is that you, Zach? Or... Okay, so just me and Zach. Okay, honey. Well, I guess I'll just keep rambling. Hopefully some people will come in. And if not, that's okay too. It'll just be us. But, yeah, what can I say? I'm just... See, as far as virtue signaling, of course, I'm assuming that you've seen the John Milton quote, and that is directly from the Crow movie. So, quick question, Zach. Have you actually seen The Crow? Hey, Susan, hi. James, hi. Thanks for the thumbs up, man. Do check out each other's channels. So, have you seen The Crow movie from 1994? Not any of the TV series. Thank you. But you've never seen The Crow? Okay, Zach, when we get off of here, you need to find it. It might be on Netflix or something, and watch The Crow. Not any of the TV series, not with Mark Dacascos or that white guy. No, you have to watch the original movie with Brandon Lee. Now, There had been talk a while back, yeah, there had been talk a while back about them doing a remake with Jason Momoa. And I like Jason Momoa as much as the next woman, but no. Hell no. No to the no, no, no. The Crow, the original movie, is perfect. It is perfection as it is. It does not need to be redone, altered, anything. And I considered the TV series blasphemy enough. But, yeah. So, but in the movie, there's a scene where, oh, I think it was Fun Boy, maybe. Oh, Brandon Lee. Brandon Lee and Ernie Hudson. And truthfully, I think Ernie Hudson's performance in that did not get enough love. He was fantastic, I thought. But it was absolutely perfect. But yes, Brandon Lee. It's but there's a scene where one of the villains, oh, you missed their names, Zach? It's Brandon Lee, Bruce Lee's son. That's really all you need to know. Is that, the Crow movie, 1994, Brandon Lee. It's the movie that he died making through a prop accident. It's wonderful. It is perfection. It is so dark, but hopeful. And there's a real justice to it. I don't want to give any spoilers, but I cannot praise it enough. It is like one of my top 3 movies of all time. It's The Crow, The Hunchback of Notre Dame with Charles Lawton, and Gone with the Wind. Those are my top 3 movies of all time. Citizen Kane, rubbish, next to these 3. But okay, I'm going to go ahead and go into the eye look. Like I said, I've got so much to say. But I know, and normally I wouldn't really do a Crow look until Devil's Night, but between watching what happened in Detroit last week and just sort of the overall state of the world, I'm feeling it. But where I was with talking about the movie is there's a scene where one of the villains pulls out a book from the protagonist's apartment, and he starts reading this John Milton quote. About how abashed the devil stood and saw how awful goodness is. And that gives us a lot to think about. I mean, for one thing, there's a couple of ways to define awful. In earlier English, awful just meant like full of awe. Like you saw it and was filled with awe. But then there's also how awful it is, how horrible it is, how horrible it makes one feel. And the contrast between these 2 definitions really got me thinking, especially when we've got people on the internet sniping at each other about virtue signaling versus doing, versus showing virtue or encouraging virtue. And that's where it really bothers me. Because I've been accused of virtue signaling. A lot of us have. It's like, I'll post something or I'll respond to something and people, oh, you're just virtue signaling. No, I'm saying what I think and what I feel. If you consider that virtue signaling, maybe you should consider that I'm trying to encourage virtue. and or at least my view of virtue. Now, and that's where we get into what's virtue and to whom. And is there universal virtue? Does virtue change over time? And I think that gets to some really interesting points, because some people can say, oh, well, sorry, I'm just throwing on a little powder. I'm feeling it. This foundation's kind of got me feeling a little greasy. But, some people would consider a woman's virtue in her chastity, virginity / chastity. I don't think of it that way. I think that definition has, well, I don't think it was ever a good thing, but I certainly feel like it's outlived its, any value it might have had. Whether a woman is virtuous or not has absolutely nothing to do with, any extracurriculars that she engages in downstairs. And this is something that really bothers me, because I see some people, especially men, including my own freaking cousin, they post things about how, these women, with a bunch of kids and different, and they have different dads, and they're, and they've got a bunch of run through them. And I'm thinking, what does any of that have to do with whether or not this woman's a good person? With whether or not with whether or not when she's in a monogamous relationship, she holds to those terms, whether she treats her family, friends, significant other well, how it, is she an asset to the community? Is she a decent person? Absolutely none of what I consider virtue has anything to do with what goes on below the belt, as one might say. And the fact that some people even now equate virtue to to one's status, like one man or a series of men can change who you are just by virtue of putting one thing inside another. No. No, son, that is not how any of this works. And the fact that people are still judging women by this, because let's face it, nobody's judging men by this. Nobody. Okay, so I'm going to go into my Colourpop Smoke Show palette. They have since changed the name of this. It's now called Blowin Smoke. If you wanted to buy your own, it's called Blowin Smoke, but I got it early, so I got the original name. And I'm going to go into Ignite to start with, because it's gray, but it's got a little something special there. A little glitter, a little just something a little bit different. Like I said, I'm feeling very crow, but I'm not going strictly black and white here. It's going to be a lot of gray involved. Every night I burn. I'm sorry, every time I even think of like really getting, riled up, getting rocking, getting ready to go, what goes through my mind are the first few bars of The Cure's Burn, which of course, for those of you who don't know, is the first song on the Crow soundtrack. I said, bit of a fan, and definitely still have the heart of a goth in my wee little black heart. But yeah, but in addition to just the internet nonsense. You know, with who's virtue signaling, who's not. Skies took my drone. I hate being conditioned to someone else's crap. Exactly. Little Miss Nat is here for the crow. Yes. Yes, obviously I'm doing a modified version because, you know, it's boring. The makeup look itself, it takes about 2 minutes. So I'm going a little extra. I've missed you, girl. I've been so cranky. I haven't been going on very many channels. I haven't been chatting with people. I've just been kind of withdrawing, but still watching like the world on fire. But in addition to all of the stuff with Black Lives Matter, have you guys been seeing how the mommy blogger, mommy YouTuber space has been blowing up lately? Okay, and I mean, I don't watch that crap. I don't. Why is my phone telling me I can't use the Bixby key? I don't use Bixby. Aw, thank you, sweetie. Now, so she's been lurking. Can't always comment, but she likes my lives. Thank you, sweetie. But okay. Have you guys been hearing about what's been going on with, what is it? 8 passengers and the Stauffer life. Holy crap. I mean, I have been sucked into this and feeling genuine outrage. It's not just like, oh, Jeffrey and Jackie are sniping at each other. I don't give a crap about them. Not really. Although I do have to say that that Jeffree Star cremated palette looks pretty awesome, but I'm not sure I'm going to buy it. But it does look pretty awesome, I must say. And if it showed up in my mailbox, I wouldn't be upset, but I don't know if I'm going to buy it. Although it looks kind of perfect for me. Shelly! Hey girl, how are you? But, okay, well, I guess I'll start with the one that's been pissing me off the most. The Stauffer life. Now, these people had 4 channels. I think 1 or 2 of them might have been taken down. There's like Myka Stauffer, the Stauffer life, the Stauffer Garage, and Cash Crush. Zach needs to get some makeup. I know. Yes, you do. You can join the rest of us. Okay, what lack of color do I want to do next? You know what? I think I'm going to go with Stoneface, mostly just because I like that name. Okay. So, these people, these trash ass people, Chit Chat Queen, hi, how are ya? Oh, do check out each other's channels if you haven't already. Please do. Now, let's make some friends here, why don't we? Okay, so these absolute trash people, let's see. Well, back in the day, I think she had about maybe 4,000 subscribers on her channel. I'm going with Stoneface, and I'm going to bring it in the inner lid here. Ooh. Oh, I like that. That's very, like, that's very, the angels have the phone box. Oh, that's a good one. I really need to do a Weeping Angels cosplay makeup look. That'd be awesome. But okay. Oh yeah, I think I said this color's called Stoneface, right? Yeah. The first one I put on was Ignite. And I love how the shade changes. Like, see how it's kind of browny and then it goes to gray there? I really like that. So, these people, when their channel had about 4,000 subscribers, they decided to adopt a special needs child from China, a little boy. Now, before they even had this little boy, they were crowdsourcing for the adoption. Now, that alone, okay, fine, you know, adoption from China is very expensive. Oh, I have it's Colourpop, girl. It's just Colourpop. It's they call it Blowin Smoke now. But I got it I still have the original one. But yeah, it's the same palette, they just changed the name. I don't know why. So they adopted this little boy. But before they even did the adoption, like I said, the crowdsourcing itself is not my issue. It's kind of the way they went about it. What she did is among other things, it's like, girl, it's like $12 or $15 on Colourpop. But she did this thing where she had 1,000 Oh, yes. Allegedly allegedly the dad got a $10,000 stipend from his job for the international adoption. But then the mom on her channel, she among the other sources of crowdfunding, she did this thing where she sold like puzzle pieces for $5 each. It's a 1,000-piece puzzle. And the idea was that, you know, as people were paying $5 each, you know, the pieces of the puzzle would be revealed. Then, what would be revealed? The photo of the child. This is a child that was not in their custody. This was a child that was not legally theirs. So, already from the get, sketch. And she was also discussing his medical condition and medical needs before the adoption. Again, not their child yet. And already discussing it. So, already gross, right? So they get this little boy, and these people already had 3 biological children. Well, okay, 2 of them were the dads, and then the oldest kid has a different dad. But, you know, whatever. That's life, and no judgment from me on there. But they already had 3 young children. And then they adopt a special needs child from China. Now, apparently at this point, given the shift in their population demographics, pretty much these days, the only children you can adopt from China are special needs. Because they have ended the one-child policy. So, you know, and there's a severe male-female imbalance in the population from the after effects. Oh yeah, exactly. Major HIPAA violation. Oh, Susan says, I'm sold. I cannot identify whether the Crow soundtrack refers to a band, a person, a movie, or what. The Crow soundtrack is the soundtrack from the movie, which of course is perfect. It is a perfect movie, and the soundtrack is wonderful. You know, if you like angry goth stuff, it's my jam. But it's, but yeah, the night, you know, if you haven't seen The Crow, you have to see The Crow. It's one of those must-watch movies. It's freaking perfect, and it's really hard for me to explain how it's perfect without giving massive spoilers for those who haven't seen it. I'm gonna go on the outside here with Night Dreams, which is a glittery black. But yeah, I'm trying not to do too many spoilers, but it is a masterpiece, and at least Jason Momoa had the sense to bow out of the project. Good man. I was afraid I was going to have to get upset, and I'd hate to do that because apparently he's such a nice guy. But Jason did the right thing. And he worships his wife as any man should, so, you know, all is well. I mean, he always looks like he needs a shower. but he seems like a real sweetheart, so that's awesome. Okay. Yep, going deep, going dark. Because I'm feeling it, y'all. I'm feeling it. Okay, so they adopt this little boy from China. Now, before they got him, apparently they'd been told that he had some kind of brain tumor. They got his scans. From there, they brought him to a doctor here. You know, not the child, but the scans. They brought the scans to the doctor here. And the doctor here says, yeah, there's, you know, this is going to be a lot. You know, there's a lot going on here. We don't know exactly what it's going to be, but it looks like it's going to be a lot. Maybe you should not adopt this child. And then this woman puts up a video around that time saying, oh, I just went in one ear and out the other. Okay, sure. So you consult with a doctor here and then basically completely blow off what they're saying to you. Why did you even bother, you pinhead? Ooh. Wait till I get to the silver. Yeah, I pulled this out of my basket of shame. So, yes. I know. I'm trying to find more colors before I hit that silver, though. But yeah, I think I'm going to go with full metal. I'm feeling a bit full metal. I don't know about you guys. I'm feeling very metal today. I'm feeling metal. I'm feeling angry. I'm here for it. Okay, let's check out full metal. I'm assuming by silver you mean Starstruck, Shelly? Oh yeah, I cleaned up my filming area. Now I just have to clean up the rest of the dining room area and my like pile of crap over there. And then this might actually like look like adults live here. Okay, I'm taking full metal and I'm just gonna hit it there, not in the center. Starstrucks for the center, babe. But I'm just gonna kind of go there, I think. All right. Now this child, they got him when he was 2.5. So then for the next couple of years, he's with them. He's diagnosed with apparently level 3 autism. Hey Lee, I know, and normally I would wear a red lippy with this look, but I'm doing the crow today, girl. I just haven't done the full thing yet. But I'm feeling like I want to do like an Eric Draven style revenge. You know, like just go out and serve some justice. Like I said, Susan, you gotta watch the movie. Zach, you gotta watch the movie. If you haven't watched The Crow, watch The Crow. Do that when we get out of here tonight. Because it is a masterpiece of righteous revenge. And you know, and the thing is I was actually reading just earlier today, I don't remember who did the essay, but you know, just something I Googled when I was playing around with the Milton quote. And you know, someone was saying that red line lips with black red line. Ooh, girl. Okay, yeah. Okay, let me see if I can find a red. Oh, here we go. I have a Kat Von D sample packet somebody's sent me. So we'll use Outlaw. Okay, I can do that. I will line my black with red. Why not? Okay, let me find my lip liner. Okay, all right, seriously, where's my lip liner? thing. I suppose I can use an eyeliner, but I'd really like to find my lip liner. Oh, fine. Eyeliner it is. Exactly, Lee, and those are who I'm talking about, the Stauffers. Lee said that she watched them for a short time, but she realized everything. She quit when she realized everything had to be instant perfect. Zach, okay, all right. Well, hey, catch the replay so you can see the look. But Zach, watch The Crow. Lee says she's claiming copyright on many YouTubes with any video, with any of her footage. Oh yeah, I'm getting to that. No, Shelly, I like it. Like I said, this is a modified Crow look. I can do what I want. Clearly, Brandon did not have all of this. You will watch The Crow. That is your homework, Zach. I like the idea of the redlining, so let's do it. I don't know. Now if I could just get burn out of my head, but that's not going to happen. Your homework, you feel like you're in school. Well, I am a substitute teacher. Well, when it's not COVID-19. Well, I already did the lippy though. You know what? It doesn't have to be perfect. Did you see Brandon's freaking grease paint job there? So if I don't like it, I'll just whip it off and do it again. Yeah, I kind of hate it. Okay. Oh, fine. Okay, so yeah, and you're kind of getting ahead of me, Lee. So with these freaking people, I wish I could find my lip brush. This eyeliner brush is not working for me. Let me find, what did I just do with my foundation? Here we go. Throw a little there. Yeah, so these freaking people, they adopt this little boy. He's diagnosed autistic. All right, fine. As far as I'm concerned, they knew something was going to be up. Well, so you've got video clips of this woman bitching about the cost of his therapy. Never mind that, due basically to his adoption story, that channel blew up from 4,000 subscribers to, it is too wide, but I'm going to try to make, I have a very small eyeliner. Chit Chat Queen, this family sounds familiar. Yeah. Oh, they are trash. I have been following this story since it broke. I've been watching all the channels about this. There I go. This is like this is the Buxom Tightliner brush. But yeah, I think this is gonna work for lips. Yeah, so they adopt this little boy. He's got he's diagnosed with autism. Okay, she's bitching about the cost of his therapy while she's wearing like a $6,000 freaking Cartier bracelet or watch or whatever. She's super glam. They've got the whole aesthetic thing where everything's really pale and everything's really perfect and all the kids look perfect and she looks perfect. But she shows that, but she shows some of the kid acting up. Yeah, yes, Chit Chat Queen. That's exactly where I'm going with this. Yeah, so how I found out about this family is all of a sudden they exploded on the non-family YouTube channels because I don't watch these freaking mommy vloggers. They put out this little video explaining that they had to rehome their adopted boy. The kid wasn't even 5. And they're saying, well, because of some things that happened in the home, we had to find him a new, forever home. Like he's a freaking puppy. It's like, what? And I've heard of, okay, sometimes, when people have autistic kids and, they get too physically big to handle and can get kind of dangerous, then, okay, then sometimes, yes, they have to be placed in an institution or, something. But this child was not even 5 years old. What the hell? Yeah. So then, of course, I've been following this. Just because my blood wasn't boiling enough. With the rest of the world and what's happening in this stinking country. Oh no, I had to keep following this story, and the more I saw, the more it got worse and worse. And really, I think the channel that really broke this and has really done the most investigation is Without a Crystal Ball. And apparently she's called her channel that because she has an autistic child. Or a child with some kind of special needs. I can't say for sure it's autism. I don't pay that much attention. But she's the one that really blew this up. Another one I've been watching that I've really been enjoying is the Dad Project. I think that's what the channel's called. It's a really good channel. The guy's, I think, an ex-minister. I'm not sure if he's still a minister, but he was a minister. Seems like a good dude. Keeps his channel, keeps his kids for the most part off his channel. So, so he's been talking about them a lot too. But I mean, I've been watching so many things. Exactly, Lee, and everybody's saying that. And even from the language that she used in her video, they were she and her stupid husband were like, well, if one of our other children had it, obviously, we'd have to, do everything we can to, get their needs met. It's like, okay, so what? You just give up on the adopted one, send him away, but there's no way in hell that they would rehome their biological kids. But but the thing that really makes me angry is the adoption built this channel. It built their fortune. These people made a fortune out of exploiting this little boy. And then they just throw him away when things get too hard. Too hard. Now, obviously, we don't know everything that went on in the house, blah, 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 but how bad could it be? He was 4. Apparently, he just turned 5. Happy birthday, little man. I hope I hope you will be happier now. But, I'm still pissed. Yeah, exactly, Susan. Susan has biological and adopted kids. Okay, I'm going into Starstruck, Shelly. It's gonna happen. Whoo! Oh, I see what you mean, girl. Ha ha ha! She's pretty. Okay. All right, and yes, I'm spreading it a little more because she's pretty. I gotta do some blending there. Clearly. Try not to blend it away though. Fluffy brush. Yes, of course. And that's what, decent people do. I mean, obviously, once they're big enough to kick your ass and they aren't manageable, then yeah, that's another story. But this is a 4-year-old child. Clearly, I cannot even imagine. Oh, here we go. Lee says, I'm 24 years too late. I should have started my YouTube channel about our bio daughter and her spinal disability. But yeah, we kept her. Yeah, Exactly, Shelley. Shelley says that poor little boy was nothing but a toy and a money grab for them a-holes. Yep. Shawana, hi, how are ya? So okay, so we have a few new people in the chat, so do make sure to check out each other's channels. Exactly. Susan kept her bio kid, she kept her adopted kid. My husband and I have been talking about doing foster to adopt once we get this one launched and decide where we're going to land next. We've actually been talking about fostering like older kids and teenagers because, I mean, I have several friends that have been through the system, and the thing I noticed even with some of the ones that were adopted is you don't really get the best launch into adulthood. So what we're thinking is that we would like to adopt some older kids and really be a like a launching pad, where you have the stability. You can come home if you need to. You have a mom and dad you can come to as you're launching your life into adulthood. Because a lot of kids that are in the system, they're too old, they don't get adopted, and then they just don't have that, and they flounder from the get. Lisa says, fostering to adopt older kids. Check out our crazy pieces as well as crazy middles. Shelly, no worries. I do occasionally cuss on this channel. I try not to, but it happens. She says, sorry about the a-hole part, but anger gets the best of my fingers. Yeah, girl. Oh, I'm just hot. Okay, I'm going to go into my Urban Decay Moondust palette because I'm feeling like... There. Oh, okay. Yeah, Lee. You know what, Lee? You've been on here long enough. Let me make you a mod so you can put the link. Okay, you're a moderator now, Lee, so you can put the link up if you want. I'm going to go into lithium here in the Urban Decay Moondust palette, and I'm going into the arch with this because I don't need an arch. I'm angry. I'm gonna do angry clown. Oh, I love that color. Ooh, look at that. Oh, yeah, see, that's dark and angry. I like dark and angry. I'm feeling dark and angry. Feeling dark and angry, so I might as well go with it. Then I'm gonna wipe off that brush and go into granite. I know, isn't that cool? Lisa, she likes the brown. I assume she means the lithium. And then I'm gonna go into the granite here and just kind of hit it here. I'm gonna come up from, yeah, I'm gonna come up from there, I think. Usually I don't put much eyeshadow like in the middle, like close to my nose, because I usually try to de-emphasize the depth there, but screw it. Screw it. And actually, Susan, it's kind of funny because when Jay and I discovered fairly early on our mutual love of the crow, he quoted it to me once in an email, and I'm like, yeah, or a conversation, I think, and I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah, all right. Clearly someone who knows what he's about. There is a brutal murder, yes. It's not gory. I wouldn't say it's gory. It doesn't start with a murder, but I don't think you'll get nightmares, but quite frankly, even if you do, it's totally worth it. Just saying, it's a masterpiece. And And apparently when Brandon Lee passed when they were making the movie, there was some concern that it wouldn't be made, but they did wonders with editing and an occasional body double to finish the project, and boy, oh, that was worth it. That was a masterpiece. Shelley says, it's your makeup, you can do what you want to. I do what I want. Ow! Ah, I just stabbed myself in that little, like, weird eye corner. Ah! Crikey! Yeah, what time is it over there, Lee? Susan's more in my neck of the woods. Okay. All right, y'all. Hang on. I have to do this. This is Galaxy. This is Galaxy. I think you and I know what's going to happen, don't you? Yes, Galaxy's going into this look. Is it strictly gray? No. Do I care? No. Just kind of a corner, and I'm going to kind of reach it up into there because I freaking want to. Okay, I like how that turned out. I like that. That's cool. $11:30 a.m. Oh, geez. Yeah, Lee, it's about lunchtime for you. It's 10:02 here. It's 11:30? I've got 10:02. Where did you get the extra half hour? What's up with that weirdness? I didn't realize they did half time zones. Or are you just looking at the sun? Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. I think that's a good place to stop that. Yeah. Okay. Oh, now it's time to go into the grease paint, I think. Actually, no, I'll wait until I do liner and lashes. You guys get an extra half hour in Central Australia? That's odd. And I'm going into my big crazy costumey lashes. Now, for those of you who've been here before, you know that I am not very good with fake lashes. In fact, I kind of suck at it, but I'm willing to try. Gotta bend these a little bit, I think. Last time they like kept straight and that was just weirdness. Oh, glue. I need to get some Lily Posh. What's Lily Posh? I'm not familiar with that. I've seen the name, but I don't know what it is. I keep meaning to try the magnetic lashes, but they're kind of expensive and I'm a cheapskate. So I don't know. Let me see if I can do these lashes without being a complete fail again. Am I gonna have a Rich Lux wonky lash here? Lee says, I'm blind as a bat. Don't do falsies. I have enough trouble poking my eyeballs with the mascara wand. Oh, is the family online? Well, here's the thing is apparently they've taken down the family vlog channel. However, oh yeah, I know you meant YouTube. They've taken down the family vlog channel. Like if you go to it, there's nothing on it. Ow, dang it. However, the dad's channel is still up and has had like no, pretty much no fallout. That's called the Stauffer Garage, and people need to cancel that too because he's just as trash as she is. Yeah. Oh, and she has a new channel called Cash Crush, which is apparently all about getting money or saving money or some crap like that, but I'm not gonna watch that either because she's trash. She needs to be canceled, like, for life. Yeah, he has Stauffer Garage. The family channel, Oh, there's a cooking channel too. Okay, I didn't know about the cooking channel. Yeah, there's Cash. I knew about Cash Crush, Myka Stauffer, the Stauffer Life, and Stauffer Garage. And as far as I'm concerned, they're all canceled. And if there's a family channel, or if there's a cooking channel, then that crap needs to be canceled too. Cause trash, 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 trash. I mean, I saw this clip where they had this little, where the little boy, they duct tape his freaking thumb to keep him from sucking it, but the bio kid that was older than him sucking her thumb with nothing. And not to mention, autistic kids, need to self-soothe and self-stim. And from all the clips I saw, and I saw quite a few on different channels reporting this, and from everything I saw, it actually looked like the kid, was responding really well to his therapy. Like he would come and ask for squeezes on his arm, which is apparently some kind of stim. He was signing, and he'd laugh when he got things. He was so freaking cute. I was like, all right, you know what? But the problem, especially with, it's all, already, you figure he's been traumatized twice before they even got these people. Oh, Shelly says that Lily Posh is a cosmetic company owned by a sweet lady, and she's the only one that does all the orders and mailing. You can go to Lily Posh Cosmetics and check them out. Yeah, I sucked my thumb. I lived. I suppose some could debate whether or not I turned out all right, but here I am. Yeah. Oh, another one to check out too, if you haven't already, is Rebel Rouge Cosmetics. She's a solo. She does this stuff. I featured the palette of hers that I ordered. It's called Losing My Religion. It's like a 90s grunge theme, and I've featured that on my channel several times. I freaking love it. It just doesn't go into today's look because it's colorful, grungy, awesome colors. Because a lot of times I tend to think about I tend to think over and kind of mull over whether I want to purchase things. But when I saw that color story, the only thing I said was, where's my card? I actually pre-ordered. I never pre-order, but I pre-ordered that. Ugh, these lashes feel so weird, and I know it's a little wonky there. All right, let me grab my liner to Urban Decay 0. This is the 24/7 liner. I often use it for tight lining, but today I'm just going to use it to kind of fill in where my lashes and glue leave off, if I can. All right. I don't know what's happening there, but I'm not happy with it. What the hell? What the hell? All right. You know what? I might just put some more glue there, because I don't think I have a liquid liner out here, do I? I don't think I do. All right, fine. Yeah, exactly. And this little guy, he's just so stinking cute, and I mean, they had this clip of the mom, the mom was giving all the kids cookies, and then the dad, and it seemed like an afterthought as you're watching the video, but you see the dad hand the little guy a cookie, and he's holding the cookie going like this. It's oh, how could they send that little guy away? What is wrong with these people? Do they have no soul? But apparently, did you guys see that? Apparently, there was so much attention to this online that the local sheriff's department actually put out a statement about this. They said the child's not a missing child, whatever that means, and they're following out. Oh, okay, thanks. Oh, I know. Oh, Shelly says, for Lily Posh, you can use the code DEBUTDAWN for 10% off your order. Yeah, she's a friend of mine too, or a YouTube friend of mine. Yeah, well, and truthfully, now that he's not their child anymore, I think the only thing that was even remotely appropriate was for them to take down every video and every image of him. I do. You know, that's one of the few things they did appropriately. Freaking trash. Okay, I'm gonna go. Exactly, Susan. Susan says the key is that she asked for professional advice and disregarded it. She's a professional and sometimes have to say to my clients, you're paying for my advice, you might want to take it. Exactly. And I've had to say that to clients too. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Oh. But alas, the Stauffers are not even the only family vlogger trash that's been getting exposed. Okay, I am going to go ahead and do the my makeup from the Crow. I realize it's going to look a little bit crude next to my other stuff, but it's okay. It's all right. Yeah, so have any of you guys heard about what's going on with, I think, oh, it's called 8 Passengers. I've been looking into this one too. Exactly, like I am having fun, which in this dumpster fire of a world is about the best that anyone can say, right? You know what? Actually, that gives me an idea. I'm going to kind of go from, there we go. Let's kind of make that make sense. Like, continuing the eyebrow line. Yeah, exactly, Shelley. Yeah, I've seen her stuff, and I will definitely check out the site and use her code if I decide to buy anything. All right, so 8 Passengers. It's these Mormon parents with 6 kids, but apparently the dad works a lot, so the channel's really the mom's show, and she's, you know, much like Myka, you know, sort of the hot mom aesthetic. You know, blonde, long hair, slim, attractive, yada yada. But this chick is apparently awful to her kids. Like the oldest son played some pranks on his little brother, and when I'm hearing the pranks, it's like, okay. I was kind of cracking up because that crap is funny. Like apparently he got his little brother up at like 2 a.m. said we're going to Disney, so he got his little brother up and got him all packed, and that was awesome. That was awesome. That was an awesome freaking prank. But then apparently he also like hung him from the basketball hoop a little bit, you know, for a couple minutes. It's like, all right, you know, that's just boys. I mean, like my husband and son, I swear they have, I'm sometimes amazed that they have not just broken everything into place. Now they start wrestling each other. I'm like, oh my God, you guys are idiots. Hey, Bird, how you doing, girl? I'm mostly okay, but I've been quite angry, so I'm going with the Crow because I'm feeling like a little divine justice needs to happen here. And while I can't actually impose it myself. Oh yeah, Susan, that's the other thing about the Crow movie is, I was reading like some Christian blogger or something, but they were talking about how they felt like what happens in the Crow is divine justice because he comes back from the dead. He has no idea how or why, but he comes back from the dead to exact vengeance. So so on that site, their feeling was that it's divine justice. Thank you, Susan. Not even done yet. Trust me, I'm gonna get gothier. Because it needs to happen. I'm just so enraged. Just, Wet n Wild paint pot. I'm still mad at them, by the way. This is not me promoting Wet n Wild, I just have it. I'm still not buying it. I'm not buying any more Wet n Wild, I'm still mad at them. And for those of you who don't know why, it's because they lied about being sold in mainland China. And while I am not a cruelty-free channel or consumer, I do fully support the right of consumers to make those decisions for themselves, and they can't if the brands are lying to them. Yeah. Shady. I still haven't even seen anything that looks like an appropriate apology, so to Wet n Wild. Wet n Wild is cancelled on my channel. Yeah, that's another thing all these people whining about, oh, cancel culture. It's like, you know what? Cancel culture is there for a reason. And it is to hold people accountable for their behavior. So when I cancel things on my channel, it's because I am holding people accountable and I am sending a message. And that's another thing that some people call virtue signaling. It's like, you know what? So what if it is? And again, that's where we get into the debate of, is it virtue signaling or is it trying to promote one's view of virtue? Like someone could say, oh, well, canceling the Stauffers is just virtue signaling. Like, really? Really? Or is it holding them accountable for their freaking behavior, which is horrendous? I'm so concerned for that little boy because he was already traumatized 2 times before these people even got him. Because, okay, you've got the trauma of being removed or relinquished by his birth parents. That's one trauma right there. And that's a common trauma that adoptees have. But then he was in foster care for a couple of years. He had his foster mother or IE or whatever they call them. Would you hand me my pot, babe? I left it over on the table. Did the Garage channel exploit the kid? No, but that dad sure as hell did. Of course the Garage channel likely rose on the strength of the other ones. So, check out my husband's channel. It's cancel the house. Cancel all of them. Ooh, I like those. They look almost like devil's horns. I'm here for it. So, yeah, they duct taped his thumb when he was sucking it. You actually saw a clip with it. Now, I did see someone in the comments on one of them, on one of the videos I watched, say something about, they're trying to stop him from sucking his thumb because autistic kids do it more, and they're more vulnerable to pinworms. I'm like, you know what? Whatever. I'm sorry. I call bullshit. I just do. I suck my thumb all the freaking time, and nobody duct taped my thumb. I didn't even need braces. I could have used them for the lower, but... Lee says she's also concerned for Phil and Alex Consigliere. 7 or 8 years of infertility, adopted 2 kids, got pregnant through IVF, and that's all you saw on their channel. Ugh. I don't know anything about them. I mean, have they been like exploiting their kids on the channel? Oh, what percent of adoptions fail, Susan? I mean, it's a significant percent. But apparently most of the time when they fail, it's either like early on or like way later. Like way later. Like when the kids are much older. But usually it's like pretty early. An adoption failing after 2.5 years, from everything I've been watching and looking into, it doesn't seem like that timeline is really common. So that's, of course, another source of concern. Oh, okay. Lee says they didn't exploit their kids. She's concerned about favoritism of the newborn bio kid. Yeah, and that's another thing with this Stauffer situation is they adopted the little boy from China, and then they had another biological child. And apparently when that biological child was, I don't know, maybe 6 months old or something, that's when they surrendered. That's when they relinquished their adopted child. What the hell? Okay, and let's say, they didn't say this. They seem to imply something with him and the biological children. Okay, so let's say that he was jealous of the baby and acting up. Acting against the baby. You know what? Lots of kids do that. No, that's not how that goes. Let me fix that. That ain't right. Sorry. It's probably my wrinkle. But lots of kids do that. So really all you would need is maybe a little extra attention and a little extra supervision. But yeah, and it was pretty clear that at least Myka Stauffer was favoring the adopted kids. It seemed like, at least from a lot of what you saw in the video, it seemed to be that the dad was more taking care of the little adopted boy, but he, I don't know. Either he wanted to get rid of him too, or he allowed himself to be convinced by it, or it was his freaking idea. Either way, trash. So I'm sorry. As far as I'm concerned, the garage, the detailing channel, the garage channel needs to be canceled too. That's just my opinion. And yes, it is me virtue signaling. And I don't give a crap. Because these people are trash. Oh yeah, there we go. Now we're talking. Oh yeah, I'm feeling it. These lashes are bizarre. I kind of like them, but obviously not for every day. Although I did find a big pack of Kiss lashes that don't look too obnoxious. I'm gonna try. Oh, here we go. Lee says, wanna laugh? My then Miss 3 was jealous of the newborn brother. When he was 3 days old, she told me to put him back in my belly. I was allowed to keep him when he bought Miss 3 a present when he was 5 days old. Susan says, I just looked it up. They say 25% of teen adoptions fail and a fairly high percentage of younger kids too. This is an issue I knew nothing about. How awful. I'm glad you're raising this issue. Yeah, and that's the thing is, I've looked into adoption kind of on and off over the years because it's something my husband and I have always talked about. So I've been learning a lot of things about like adoption trauma and reactive attachment disorder and stuff like that. So that's, that's certainly given me pause. And that's part of why, even if our age and energy level wasn't so much of an issue, I would think it would also be, when it comes to younger kids, I would worry about reactive attachment disorder. Of course, that could happen with older kids too. But I mean, that's why foster to adopt, I think, is a really good idea, rather than just, getting a kid and, okay, you're my kid now. Well, what if you can't stand each other? Obviously, with the little ones, people used to think that wasn't such an issue, but it really is. And that certainly concerns me. Apparently just being separated from one's birth mother is a trauma alone. Oh, Lee says the Pettit family in Arizona, the Crazy Pieces, have 2 adopted teens who previously came from failed adoptions. The teens are now thriving. Excellent. That's wonderful. Yeah, we've been thinking along those lines. Although we're not sure we want to do it in the county we live in now. So we're probably going to wait. Scorpion, hi, how are you? I've been boiling. I'm feeling very goth and angry. Clearly. hence the crow and John Milton. How awful goodness is. Yeah, but I think I was saying earlier, and then I got sidetracked because I must be ADD. My sister thinks I'm ADD. Well, and here we go. Distracted again. Shelly says when her mom brought her home as a baby, her brother thought it was cool until he found out she was a real baby. See, I'm the oldest. So, and my mom separated our ages quite a bit. Like the next one came when I was not quite 5, a little short of 5. And then the following one came when that one was a little over 6. Just boiling. I've been talking about things that have been making me angry lately. Mostly agent provocateurs and police overreaction to protests, and horrible mommy vloggers that exploit their children. Oh, right. God, dang it, I'm so scattered. Right. Okay. So I was going to talk about a couple things. I was going to talk about 8 passengers, and I was going to discuss my sort of the John Milton quote a bit more. All right, so 8 passengers. So, like I said, Mormon family, 6 kids. Dad works a lot. Mom has a channel. Mom's like, hot blonde mommy. Okay, so these people are just objectively awful. Their son played some freaking hilarious pranks on his little brother. They sent him to one of those wilderness camp things where they make them live in the wild for discipline. Yeah, so this kid's a teenager. They sent him to this place, but then when he comes home, they still took his bed and bedroom away from him for 7 months. The kid was sleeping on the floor or on a freaking or on a beanbag in the living room. They had a room for him. They just wouldn't let him use it. These are people who live an hour away, who moved again, because because this channel made a bunch of money exploiting their kids and all their embarrassing childhood things. And then they bought some big ass house an hour away from their school. They don't have any friends. I'm talking about 8 Passengers, which is one of those horrible, exploitive, mommy blogger channels. Yeah. So, they these are people where if the kids will even say, like, please don't put this on please don't put this thing on camera, and she'll do it. She put apparently her daughter getting her period. Let's see. Scorpion, the last comment I saw from you was about working 10-hour shifts. Wow. Yeah, I'm not working at all. I'm apparently not essential. No, it's because all the work I do has to do with the schools and kids. So, no school, no kids, no work. It's okay. I'm good. I'm all right. My unemployment has come through, so yay. But yeah, she put her daughter getting her first period on the channel. She's put her punishments for her kids on the channel. Her kids don't have any friends, and they lived. Her kids her kids are now in a new neighborhood an hour away from their school, and they don't have any friends, and she takes away their electronics for months at a time. It's like, of course they don't have any friends. Nobody can talk to them. And their mother's some freaking weirdo who puts all their stuff on the internet. I feel so bad for these kids. This woman, okay. It's her kid's responsibility to make their own lunches for school. Whatever. But the teacher calls for her 6-year-old. Her 6-year-old. She doesn't have lunch. Can you please bring something? And what does this witch say? Her name's Ruby, by the way. I do not place her value above Ruby's. Below. Well, below. Glass. Not even Murano glass. Not even the good stuff. She says, nah. It's her responsibility to make her lunch. And she said she did it. And I don't want anybody to give her anything. I hope nobody gives her anything. So she'll learn her lesson. She's 6. The hell? I mean, if she were 10 or 12, sure. But 6? Really? 6. Come on, lady. I mean, we had to pack our own lunches too, but when they're little, when they're young, you supervise them. This is where parental supervision comes in. Maybe less filming and editing and more supervision. Yeah, so this woman's a total edge. And her husband's trash for allowing it. So, yeah. So 8 Passengers is canceled too. As far as I'm concerned. But yeah, Susan says she's learning so much. Can you believe I never heard of virtue signaling? I'm Googling all kinds of things listening to you. Good. Yeah, it is sad. These people are just awful. And they just exploit their kids and embarrass the crap out of them. And it's just terrible. So, so that gets my blood boiling. Because, not only are these people just terrible, but they're terrible in exploiting their kids for an audience. And the audience seems to be fine with, the audience. So, well, some of the audience seems to be fine in support of such exploitation. Oh, I see. 8 passengers. Dad works in earthquake research or something similar and is often out of state or overseas. Well, and that's, that's fine and all, but I don't know. It just, and maybe this is me, making some generalizations. Like, okay, like these guys are Mormons. Isn't like his word supposed, isn't he supposed to be the head of the household? Yeah, he may not be home much, but shouldn't he be able to, discuss limits with his wife and have her follow them? Or does he just not have an opinion? Does he not care? What are we talking about here? I mean, my dad worked second and third shift through my, third shift and then second shift for my whole childhood. But you know what? When he actually, when he actually said something, it went. Or mom and dad had a discussion and hashed it out, and I was like listening in. She probably overrides him, and probably. But then that's a question of, to me that's a question of, okay, is she just, is he just detaching himself from the parenting? Is he letting her override him? I mean, what are we talking about here? Lee says her personality is I make the rules. Yeah, well, does the crow have to come visit her? Send her, I'll send her ass outward bound. Little divine justice. Yeah, and that's what I was gonna, oh, right, I was mentioning this earlier, especially to Susan. But like this feeling was that because the crow didn't know why or how he was resurrected, this Christian blogger kind of had the feeling like it was, it was like God's justice, divine justice, that the crow was like the crow was an instrument of divine justice. Lee says, I don't think the crow wants to. The crow needs the crow sanity. Oh, but besides, if I leave the house again, then I'm going to have to wear a bra. I don't know. We don't know her. She's over there. I had to deal with her enough earlier. I had to take my husband to a thing. And I had to wear a bra. But I've been getting even fatter during the shutdown, so my bra's tight. God. So over it. Right. I remember what I was going to also talk about was the was also sort of the concept behind the Milton quote. So I was talking earlier about the double definition of awful. The earlier English version of awful was just full of awe, like the devil stood and saw how awful goodness is, like how awe-inspiring goodness is. But then there's also a more modern definition, which is, of course, awful, horrible, horrible. And the double definition of this, of awful, has really been kind of working in my mind lately. Oh, right, Susan, exactly. She said older kids would likely be diagnosed with anything before I got them. Yeah, exactly. Well, now it's my concern with little kids. But we're old. We're not dealing with little kids. No. No. No, we need them potty trained and speaking English. That's how I got mine. He was already potty trained and could speak English. He could even read. But sort of the what's really been making that Milton quote just sort of churn in my mind lately has been, everything that's of course, everything that's going on, and you see protesters confronting police, confronting military, confronting rioters and looters, and we see people discussing things on the internet, and then we have other people calling them virtue signalers. And especially when I see people, when someone posts something about a social issue, any social issue, really, and then someone tries to claim that they're virtue signaling, then it just kind of makes me churn, and it makes me think of abashed the devil stood and saw how awful goodness is. And it just makes me wonder, like, are these people who are making these claims, is it that somewhere inside they're beholding goodness and virtue, and they just can't handle it? And, rather than reflect in themselves, they would rather lash out. Like, oh, you're just virtue signaling. Really? Is it virtue signaling, or is it just that you're standing abashed because you see how awful goodness is? Yeah, exactly, Susan. And that's certainly a question. When we were talking about adoption trauma, should we leave kids in homes with parents our culture considers unfit? I wonder if it's better to leave them with their bio parents as far as outcomes, and I'm certainly not saying that that's the case, but there is a trauma there, and from everything I've been reading, it's something that we need to acknowledge and deal with. Certainly, obviously, if a child needs to be removed from their parents, or the parents need to relinquish a child, then that's how it needs to be. But I think it's seeming, at least with the recent science, that that there is a trauma there, and it does need to be addressed through, whether through therapy or whatever, but it needs to at least be something that an adoptive parent needs to understand is there, and they need to be prepared to deal with that. I think is the take I've been getting from all of this. Not, certainly not that children should just be left with the biological parents no matter what. Of course not. Some people are just trash, but more that we need to acknowledge that there is a trauma there, and we need to understand that children may act out in unexpected ways, and we've got to be prepared to deal with that. I've adopted I haven't adopted anybody, but I've been considering doing it, so I suppose maybe we is a little premature. But yeah, 8 passengers, child abuse for money. Yep. So we've got we've got neglect on the Stauffers and abuse on 8 passengers. Yeah, that's pretty much how I say it. Sounds about right. Oh, and this woman. Oh my gosh. So I heard some clips and her talking about how, oh well, you know, I know some people are getting, you know, she was talking about, oh, you know, how some people commenting are snowflakes. Yeah, she used the word snowflakes. Bitch, please. No. Yeah, she tried that. Yeah, so basically anyone that doesn't agree with her parenting methods is a snowflake. Really, yeah. People like that make my ass itch. Just saying. So I'm just watching my delayed face in the tablet where I'm monitoring the chat, because it's easier than trying to deal with it on screen, because then you see my fingers scrolling. So, yay. Tablet, definitely worth it. But yeah. So, yeah, that's what's been making my blood boil. And, you know, whether this woman is calling people snowflakes or people online are calling people who post objections to, you know, police abuse of power, the militarization of the police, you know, the objection to the murder of innocent black people, well, or innocent people at all, but, you know, let's face it, statistically it appears to be more black people. That's what the point of Black Lives Matter is. And those people that call me a snowflake and say that, oh, well, all lives matter. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock, but, you know, it's like we're in the neighborhood and their house is the one on fire and your 2 houses down, saying that you want the fire department to spray your house? No. On a per capita percentage of the population, black people are murdered or die at the hands of law enforcement much more frequently than do whites. That is an issue, and it needs to be looked into and addressed. Now, someone in a comment somewhere, probably on Facebook, attributed that to urbanization, and they said that it was a higher percentage of people in urban areas die at the hands of the police versus those in suburban or rural areas. And because more black people tend to live in urban areas, then that works out to being more black people. That was an interesting point. I didn't have a chance to look into it much. But okay, you know what? Let's go with that for a minute. Okay. So then if we're looking at a greater percentage of deaths at the hands of law enforcement in urban areas, what is it about urban law enforcement that makes that more likely? I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Do 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 do. But either way, it needs to be addressed. Whether it's we've got more black people being killed because because they're, because they're black or because they're in urban areas. Either way, it is statistically affecting black people at a greater rate. Not the raw numbers. The raw numbers have more white people dying at the hands of law enforcement. But per capita, and this needs to be examined and addressed. No, it's not simple. And I think that's a big problem with American society, Lee, is Americans in particular seem to want easy answers to complex issues. They always want that, the 10-second soundbite. Make America great again. Well, you know what? Number one, was it ever great? With all the issues we have here. Great again? How about make America great? Period. Let's end the sentence there. Let's make it great. Period. But then that would be great for everybody here. Not just the corporations, not just the white people, everybody. And that, and that's the issue, but it's not, but it doesn't fit into the 10-second soundbite or even a 30-second soundbite. People want simple answers for complex issues, and it's not going to happen. They need to take the time to examine things and to hold law enforcement, to hold government accountable. Lee says she thinks it has a lot to do with lack of jobs or low wages, daily living costs, lack of opportunities in the area. Exactly. And that is an enormous problem, and it's only going to get worse. I mean, honestly, I think at some point we're going to wind up having to shift to a universal basic income. Not that people won't work also, but especially as we get into more automation and more outsourcing, at some point people have to live. And if they don't have enough to live on, then crime goes up. And there's instability. So honestly, at some point it's going to have to happen. It's probably not going to be now, and I think a lot of people have a problem with it because they don't want to think like the other guy is getting something over on them. Like, oh well. Like you see all these people now, well, all these people getting an extra $600 for unemployment. Well, but I still have to work. And it's like, yeah, okay. Yeah, you still have to work. You still have a job. I don't have a job now. And because I had to take time off for surgeries, guess what? My unemployment amount, my weekly unemployment amount without the extra is $147. So, yeah. Guess what? That extra $600 a week, helping a ton. It helps a ton. And without it, without that, we wind up with instability. Just like a lot of people are saying, well, why are people looting? Okay, well, for some, they're opportunists. Some are bitter. Like, okay. And some, they haven't had a paycheck in a long time. And, if they can grab a couple things and maybe sell them on the black market, awesome. They can get some dollars in the door. Let's see. Susan says, when we adopted an older child, the agency made us go to classes and agreed to get family therapy for at least 2 years through the process. They said even good changes can be stressful. Exactly. And I fully expect you know, if we get to that point, to do the same. Exactly, Susan. You know, it's, you know, even good changes are stressful. Yeah. Susan says it worked out great for them, but they had a lot of good advice and they have great children. Yeah, I've seen your adopted daughter a few times over at Walmart. And she said, but you know, and it's funny because I recognized her from your Facebook photos. So I said, "Oh, you're Susan's daughter, right?" And she said, "Yeah, but that's not usually what people say." And that's been kind of percolating in my head, like, what do people say? I didn't ask her, but it's been kind of like, because she's black, you know, for those of you who don't know, Susan's white, her adopted daughter is black. And it just kind of makes me wonder, like, did you guys have a problem with, you know, with racism when you adopted her? Like, has that been an issue for her or for your family? You know, with people being a-holes? I've kind of wondered about that. Because, you know, it's a thing. And like one of my friends here, she's white, her husband's Chinese, and she said she's had to deal with a lot of racism. You know, she grew up around here. She said she had to deal with a lot of racism. Her kids had to deal with a lot of racism, like to the point where her kids basically, you know, she pulled her kids out of 4-H because the leader was like really racist. So I've kind of wondered how that goes for some people. This is not the most diverse area. I remember when I first moved here, and we rode the buses for our first 6 months here because my car got totaled right before we moved here. And I remember I'm riding the buses and I'm just, you know, going around, and you know, I'm from a much more urban and diverse area. My husband's from definitely a more urban and diverse area. So for quite a while we're here and we're just like, you know, and I'm just like, I see white people. I felt so weird. Like, you know, like things just didn't look right. It just didn't look right. And then I looked up the previous census, and apparently in my county at the time of the census before we moved, it was like less than 2% African American population in my county. Like, oh, that's odd. It's just odd. It was a real adjustment for me. And you know, it still feels a bit weird. So, I don't know. It's kind of, it's just kind of strange. And then of course my husband starts talking about, well, you know, what do we do if, you know, things really get crazy around here? I'm like, they're not going to get crazy here. It's not. Oh, Lee, okay. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate you being here. Make sure you watch The Crow, girl. Needs to happen. It's a masterpiece. But yeah, it just, I don't know. know. I'm really hoping that we'll get some serious reforms out of all of this. I really hope so. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to dig up my old combat boots, throw my curl makeup, and get to some divine justice. All right, NSA, I'm just kidding. Oh, Susan, don't even get me started on that. Oh my God. Susan says, I wonder how much a child removal by CPS is really needed. Yeah. Oh, don't even get me started. Oh my God. I had this client and her kids were removed for just, she took her child to the doctor because the kid had like some mysterious bruises and she didn't know where they came from. And the kids were removed for like ages. I was fighting for like 8 months to get these kids back. It was craziness. And there were. Oh, my husband once. He had this client that he worked away a lot. So his wife ran the household and all that, and he'd give her money to deal with stuff, but apparently she wasn't paying the bills. She was buying drugs, and somehow she came to the attention of the authorities. The kids were removed so Dad gets back in town from working, and they wouldn't give his kids back to him, even though he didn't do anything wrong. He was able to care for them. He was ready to adjust things so that he could take care of them. And they kept those kids and made him jump through so many hoops when the kids had been in foster care for like less than a week. When Dad got back, oh no, we gotta work on reintegration. It's like, are you kidding me? He's their father. He lives with them. He just works out of town. He just worked out of town a lot. Jay was hot. I mean, the guy eventually caved and decided to deal with their BS because he was afraid they'd get removed. But Jay was hot. My husband was furious. He was ready. He was like, it is go time. He was so mad. But yeah, and that's a huge problem too, is there are too many removals, and I mean, really, I think CPS, law enforcement, the judicial system, they all need some sort of outside supervision, like a citizens review board, but nobody local, so that there can be no conflicts of interest, there could be no possibility of retaliation. That's my thought. Is I really think all of these bodies need outside oversight and review, and and not by anybody local. Because I really think like local review boards wouldn't really help a lot, because they're still in the community. They're still there are ties, there are retaliation, there's favoritism, whatever. But either way, that's my thoughts on the issue. And on many issues, these people, 8 passengers and Stauffers are trash. And why is my sister sending me a freaking TikTok link instead of getting here on the live? I'm gonna give her crap later. Alright, let's put that down. I don't want to look at that. But hey, y'all, I've been on for over 2 hours. These lashes are bugging me. My legs are swelling, and I think it is time for me to take this crap off and put my legs up. So I am going to get going and see you all later. I think I mentioned before that due to the whole unemployment situation, I can really only afford to go on once a week. So I will do another live next week, probably still Wednesday. I think Wednesday is going to be a good day, but you know, it may change as life, you know, as life happens. But I do want, but also keep an eye out for some produced videos because there are going to be more coming up. I just have to film them. So keep an eye out for the produced videos. Keep an eye on my community tab. Make sure you turn on your notifications and subscribe if you haven't already. And in the meantime, I will see you guys later. Later, bye.